So far, we have only seen primitive literals and binary expressions, and every expression we've seen has evaluated to a primitive value. Today we will look at another kind of value, the reference. A value is either a reference or a primitive, such as a number or a string. An object literal expression evaluates to a reference. Let's look at object literals and how they're evaluated. An object literal starts with a curly bracket and ends with a curly bracket. It contains a list of properties separated by commas. Each property is a name followed by a colon followed by an expression. The name before the colon is called the key, and the expression after the colon is called a property value, even though it is an expression and not a value. To avoid confusion, I will not be using the term property value, but instead use the term property expression to refer to the expression on the right-hand side of the colon. In this specific example, we have an object literal with two properties. When an object literal is evaluated, each key is associated with the value of its expression. Let's look at the process in detail. To evaluate an object literal, you must first evaluate all the property expressions. Then the computer creates a table in its memory so that it can associate each key with its value. This table has the same structure as a frame. It associates a name with a value. This table has a special name. It is called an object. The object is created in an area of the computer memory called the heap. Finally, the object literal evaluates to a reference to that object. To understand the relationship between references and objects, let me explain with an analogy. If an object was a house, a reference would be the address of the house. Here we see an object literal without any properties. Evaluating it creates an object without any properties. It is called an empty object. It is important to note that the interpreter creates a new object every time it evaluates an object literal. Objects can contain references to other objects since references are values. In this video, you learned about object literals and objects. Objects exist in every mainstream programming language under one name or another. They provide a way to represent data in a structured way in the computer memory. The more the data is structured, the easier it is for the programmer to manipulate it.